everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 699. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
I'm Ari Rockefeller.
And I am Mako-chan.
And how's everybody doing tonight?
Yeah.
You know, I could completely agree with that because I went outside earlier. I'm just like, it's a tad
going
bit,
outside. Ugh.
it's a tad bit nipply out. Just a scotch. Just a scotch. But other than that, you know, it's how we roll around here. So, oh God, I'm already seeing icons for Christmas trees. It's too soon. It's too soon. Can we at least wait 8 more days? Can we wait until the Friday after Thanksgiving, please?
Nah, rather wait till December 1st.
You know,
Bare minimum.
and I get that, and it's like, in a way, it's no different from everybody who gets all excited for Halloween, and it's September 1st. Slow your roll.
It's better than getting excited for Christmas when it's August 1st.
Well, that's been around for God knows how long. I could tell you the many times I have gone into Kmart. Yes, I reference Kmart. I have gone into Kmart in New York City, in Manhattan, the one that used to be on 8th Avenue, which is now a Wegmans. Like, the last week of August, you go down to the bottom level, Christmas trees are already set up.
Okay, the Kmart's in my area didn't go that hard, but like I've said before, I once almost got thrown out of a Cracker Barrel for getting pissed at Christmas creep, so...
I mean, honestly, I have like 2 boxes of Christmas stuff. What I did was before I went to the work from home angle, I actually had a tech table, and I would actually put up like a tree. I had like the Super Mario Brothers tree, you know, with the question block as the star, and I would take all my Hallmark decorations and I would just hang them around my desk. I went to Dollar Tree and bought cheap tinsel and just decorated it. And a couple of people that saw me doing this, they're like, that's kind of cool. Do you have any extra tinsel? I was like, here. I mean, honestly, it's work. I'm not going to drop money on the good stuff. Just saying. If it's my personal house, then I will drop money on the good stuff. And then and there was that. And I started doing that because in this place here, I don't really have room to put up for a tree. At my old apartment, I did have room, but then I started buying more anime stuff, and then it was like, ran out of space. Now, if I decide to end up moving into the room next door, which is about 1.5 the size of this, I will have space. I can grab probably one of my bookcases out of storage and just set it up and just be like, right here. Plus there's like 2 sets of outlets on the wall, so it's like makes things even better, because in this room here everything is daisy chained per se. Like, there is a 20-foot heavy duty 3-prong extension cord going around the edges of the room, where there is a 12-port surge protector for the computer. And then there is another one plugged into running to the extension cord for the TV, for the consoles, the TV, and the sound bar, you know? And the best part is, I can have all this running with the air conditioner or the heater and not have a problem. I only screw things up if I decide to run the air fryer, because half of that kitchen is on the same circuit as the outlets on this side, which is like, who wired this place up? You know? But anywho, enough about that. Let's get into the show, shall we? We are live tonight, week of December 8th. No. See, got me talking about Christmas. I'm already jumping to December. We're not that close yet. November 18th, 2025, right here on Twitch TV. We're here live from Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You will always find us at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. And we're also proud to be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetworks.com and hang out with them on Twitch as well. Let me snooze that. All right. You can find them at Twitch TV/VOG Network. And also, we're proud to be part of the Voice of Geek Networks at vognetwork.com. And come hang out in our Discord, vognetwork.com/Discord. Every channel is part of the Voice of Geeks Network. Every show is part of the Voice of Geeks Network has a channel. So come through, hang out, and have a good time. So now that we got that out the way, I'm going to kick things over to Rob. So Rob, how was your week and how was your day?
Are you? Well, a lot of it's mostly been work stuff and, dealing with a lot of that. I did get pressed into working overtime overnight this past weekend, and it was my split week, so I had even less time, left, before my next work week started. That one Sunday, and well, other than that, I've just been in a constant state of pain throughout, especially in my knees and my back. So, yeah, like 90% of the time when you look at me, I'm just sitting here like, ah! That kind of a internal ass screaming.
Fair enough. I mean, the weather will kind of do that to you, but I totally understand.
Oh, it's more than just the weather. Trust me.
Oh, I know. Mako-chan, how was your week and how was your day?
All right.
You sure about that?
No, not really. But I'm never sure about that. Yeah, I mean, not much of anything really going on.
So, who's your friend?
So this is an angry penguin. He has no name. I occasionally will order stuff off of a site called Chubblegum.
Chubblegum?
Yes. This guy does art.
Okay.
And it's basically it's all a little bit crazy, or butt jokes, or crazy work life, or just, things like that. So one of the options, everything on there right now is Christmas. But one of the options, when they are not doing the Christmas stuff, is roll for bundle. So they basically take like 10 dice, could be, D20, could be, D6, whatever, and they roll it, and whatever it comes up is what you get.
Oh, okay.
So you know what you're gonna get. This just happens to be one of the things that I ended up getting in my last batch. So
How much did it run you?
I think the whole thing was something like 70 or 80, but yeah, so all of it is stuff like that, but it's really good quality. So my last one that I got was 2 large notebooks, 2 small notebooks, the plushie, a couple of sticker packs, which actually I believe some of these stickers are actually, this is from the last pack. So it's all crap like that.
That's wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um,
I
but
get
as I
it.
said, the quality is really good. The notebooks have that thicker back, so you can actually use the notebook in your hand. It doesn't fall over or flop or anything like that. It's a nice thick paper. Um, and they have coloring books and things like that as well. So, yeah, occasionally when I need a couple of things, I will pop on and grab some notebooks or some note cards or things of that nature,
Mm-hmm.
so that I have something fun and exciting while I happen to, be working.
Gotcha. Okay.
I also got something for my mindlessly self-indulgent customizing
What
shtick.
what you got? Share it. Share it. I don't have anything myself, but
This is a print from Magic Posters, and it's
wow.
customized, so it looks like a, Monopoly property.
Well, you've always talked about how much you love Monopoly, but wow.
Well, I love like all different kind of board games, but I just couldn't resist with this one. You even got it in the dark midnight red that I like, and the 901. The price is just a little reference to when I officially started living in this house.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. I like
I'll find
that.
a place to put it up eventually.
And I totally get that. I mean, I know there was that disc plate that you sent me, and I just couldn't find a spot to put it. I did find a.
Which one was it?
I don't know. I never put it up because I said I'm going to be out of here soon. So what's the point of putting it up and then just leaving a hole behind? If I couldn't just slap it up there with thumbtacks, there is no point in doing so. So I just didn't.
Disc plates. But
Di-
like thumbtacks, but it's a disc plate. It's
That's what
metal.
I'm saying. But the thing is, stuff I had up on the walls, I was able to put up with
Okay, other
thumbtacks.
stuff.
Yeah, like I lined up a thumbtacks for all of my amiibos, and then I had a poster done up as a gift done up. I think of the New York City subways or something like that. Like no, it was the five boroughs of New York City done up like Super Mario World, and that was still in the plastic, and I had it up on the walls with thumbtacks. That's what I meant. So it is. It's like that. So
Hmm.
All right. So anywho, let's see. So my weekend day is basically me is prepping and doing laundry, and I have another load of laundry to do tomorrow because this weekend I am going to PAX Unplugged. I was invited by a friend, and I'm like, okay. Now, I used to be big in board games, but eventually it kind of switched over to playing video games, and I'll still play board games here and there. If there's enough people, I'm like, yeah, just bring it out and just we'll play. I'm about that. So this is like my second con I think I've done this year. Yeah, second con I've done this year where I'm not in a press person. I'm going as an attendee, so I'm looking fun for that. My friend signed us up to do like this murder mystery game runs for 3 hours. I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. And I know they have booths, like places where you can learn to play different board games and card games. So would not be surprising if I find myself there the bulk of the week. So, also another thing is, as I've said, I was going to pull the air conditioner out my window, but I haven't because the way it is, like right now, the second floor, the temperature is at 73. I usually go out there and turn it up to 76. Because when I'm in here, it's nice and warm because of all the electronics and the heat that's pushing off. But when I go outside, it's like, ooh, it's a little chilly. So I figured out bring everything up. And the only time I ever feel any cold air coming in here is like when I'm on the bed watching TV and I have like my back pillow up so I can watch TV, and I can kind of feel a bit of a cold breeze coming in and out, but it's the way I have the curtain covered, it's not that big of a deal. So there is that. So probably tomorrow I'm going to have to take that air conditioner out the window and start prepping for all of that stuff. Also, I went to a comedy show Saturday. Have you heard of the show Adam Ruins Everything? And no, it's not my show. Well, I think the guy's name is Adam Cornover or something like that. A friend of mine is like a big fan of his, got us tickets, and she was like, "Did you want to go?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I saw him and a couple other stand-ups. So we did that. And then after that, we found like a small little diner over in Park Slope. So we sat there, ate, and kind of shot the shit for a while before we had to go separate ways. We would have stayed longer, but she had to get up like at I think 6 o'clock and go all the way up to Connecticut for a gig job because she does stagehand work and stuff. So there's that. So, and we're probably going to hang out when I get back from PAX Unplugged. So we'll see how that goes. And that's basically has been it. I don't have anything.
Have fun up there.
No, thanks. Or in this case, out there. So. I've also been working on on a very important side project, and I probably hinted to it here and there that I am something cool is coming down the pipe, and I will announce it on next week's show. So stay tuned for that. So
okay,
all right, and I think that's basically is it for the most part. Let's get into some housekeeping news here. Let me pull up my list here. Don't forget, episodes of Anime Jam Session in video format are available on our YouTube page Thursdays at 12 noon. Just go to youtube.com/Anime Jam Session, and it's right there as a featured video. If not, just go to the playlist that says podcast or Anime Jam Session podcast, and the latest episode is there for you to check out. Our con tour is done. We are done. But I will be at PAX Unplugged, and I think this is, again, it's the second con I've gone to this year as an attendee where I didn't have to cosplay. So, but I am pulling out all of my cool nerdy gaming shirts. You know, it'll be fun to wear those. So I'll have that. If you want to check out PAX Unplugged, it's at the Philly Convention Center this weekend. I believe 3-day passes are sold out. There's a few Saturday passes left, so come through, hang out, and get your nerd on. And as I've said, Orange Lounge Radio, the internet's longest running video game show and podcast, is on its final arc. Final episode, Sunday, November 23rd. Come through, hang out, call in, say what's up. I have been hawking this for the last few weeks for this main reason. Some of you may not know this, but Anime Jam Session, in a way, is sort of like a spin-off of Orange Lounge Radio. Not really a spin-off per se, but heavily inspired. Those of you who watch the show and listen to the show, basically, that's where I got my ideas on how to do the podcast the way it is. We kind of change certain things and we go right along. Yes, Bob Coffee, Orange Lounge Radio is ending, so please come through. Sunday is the final episode. Yes, as Podculture says, part of the OLR verse. I would have to say the VOG verse instead, because we kind of jump between Bobby Blackwolf show. Hell, I think we jump across Travis Donovan live or Under Sedation live if the quote unquote Podfather would unretire and come through. You know, it would be nice to see Travis do a show here and there. You know, it'd be kind of cool. So there is that. So I've been working on something special for the show, so y'all need to come through and check it out. So I hope y'all enjoy that. So please come through. Sunday, 9 p.m., Orange Lounge Radio, the final episode. So, yes. And he really, yes. I should, Podculture, I should ping him and be like, are you calling into the show or not? I really should, you know. But,
let's hope he does.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Now, before we get into tonight's show, there is something very important that I need to discuss with y'all. It affects cosplayers like me, but in the long run, it affects a lot of cosplayers. And I'm going to read this out, and then I will get into why I read this out, and I'll summarize for the most part. This is from one of my cosplaying friends. I can't remember his cosplay name off the top of my head. I know, I'm very bad with names and stuff like that. But this is what he screenshot from his Instagram, and I'm just paying this forward. Here's my honest and raw thoughts on what's going on from a black cosplayer's point of view. For an actual change to happen in the con scene, let's stop with the performative action and actually be supportive of black cosplayers. It shouldn't take situations like this for folks to realize that black cosplayers have to deal with hate, less opportunities, and overall negative experience in the hobby that's supposed to be for everyone. The social status quo needs to change. I really get sick and tired of folks claiming to be allies when it's convenient for them. Just don't share or work with black cosplayers when it's February or when you need someone to cosplay a minority character. Be supportive all around like you would anyone else. Also, not just black cosplayers with high followings or conventionally attractive. There are a lot of amazing black cosplayers out there that get no love whatsoever. Actually support people, Jesus, tap dancing Christ. Yes, call out the racist comments and hateful people. However, at the same time, keep that same energy to actually support and work with people. Check in on people, or hell, just talk to people. There's more I want to say, but I'm getting more mad typing this already. I usually keep my thoughts like this to myself nowadays, but some of the things I've been seeing from non-black cosplayers have pissed me off for ages. With that being said, do better. And if you're probably wondering, why am I reading this out? There was a cosplayer, I forget her name off the top of my head, who recently committed suicide due to the bullying and harassment from people within the community. Now, a lot of people are saying that a lot of this is coming from non-black people. Me personally, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, red, whatever. If you're going on social media taking pot shots at people who are cosplaying and you're not cool with them like that, and even still, that's out of pocket. You shouldn't be doing that. Ari can cosplay something and I can make a little joke about it. He knows I'm just messing with him and he won't take it serious. He won't take it seriously. But if he does, he's going to say something to me about it. The same thing with Mako-chan. And if I do something, I do a cosplay, they say something back and forth. That's one thing. It's another thing where you don't know who this cosplayer is and you're making a comment because, oh, they're cosplaying your favorite character. You don't like their skin color. Oh, you don't like how big or small they are. Oh, you don't like the way the hair they have this. Oh, you don't like the fact that they wear glasses and all of that. You do realize a lot of us can't help who we are. And we work with what we have, you know? And it's funny, when I got into cosplaying, I never looked at it like that. I'm like, I want to cosplay Ranma Saotome. And I have. It's far and few I got grief about it, because I would have to say, at the time when I got into cosplaying, the levels of toxicity and racism and discrimination weren't as bad as it was. So, in a way, I got lucky. But as I transition from cosplaying to doing convention coverage, I'm seeing this firsthand. I'm hearing this firsthand. There were times where my messenger would blow up about this, and that, about what the hell is going on, you know? We need to stop this. If you see somebody making rude comments about a cosplayer on social media, call them out. If you have a friend who is dealing with this, check in on them. See if they're okay, you know? All of us usually have like that one, we love cosplaying, but some of us will not cosplay because we don't want to hear the taunts, the jokes, the insults, and all of that. You don't realize that shit fucking hurts. And I know this firsthand as somebody growing up, dealing with going to high school and getting picked on and teased because I was different from everybody else. We're a community. We're supposed to stand together and look out for each other. So if you see that one Sailor Moon group and everybody's a different height, race, so what? They're having fun. Let them have their fun, damn it. You know? And if you're there and you see somebody making a comment or something like that, call them out for it. We're better than this. And we need to show that and act like it. So the next time you're at a convention and you overhear somebody making a derogatory comment about a cosplayer, call them on it. Next time you're browsing through Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, or something like that, and you see somebody making these types of comments, call them out for it. So what if they come after you? You go after them. We're supposed to be a family of sorts. Granted, a dysfunctional family, but even dysfunctional families look out for each other to a certain point, and that's what we need to do. It's coming down to the end of the year. 2026 is just a few weeks away. Start fresh. Let's get out there and have a good time in cosplay. Check in on our friends who are struggling because somebody is giving them grief over a particular cosplay that they did, you know? Because I tell you this, if I'm at a con and I'm with my squad and we're cosplaying and I overhear somebody making a rude comment, I will throw hands right then and there, and I don't care if I get kicked out of the convention. That person had no right to be making a comment like that anyway. Show some respect, you know? And I want to say, I hope I don't have to come back in a few weeks or a few months and repeat myself. But I know I'm going to. And I will
because people can't take a fucking hint.
Exactly. And I will continue to repeat myself and say this until we can finally get it together. Unity under cosplay. Come on now. Now that we got that very important message out of the way, let's get into tonight's news. And I will kick things off because we're going to be talking about one of my favorite animes, Bang Dream, and the mobile game which I played here and there, Bang Dream Girls Band Party. They are teaming up with Hello Kitty. And I'm kind of curious about this. So I think this is a really, really cool thing. So let me go ahead and switch workspaces and open this up so we can up and go about it. Right? Okay. So it looks like the collab is a music video. As it says here, Bushiroad and Craft Egg's mobile rhythm game Bang Dream Girls Band Party launched the first part of the collab that features characters from Sanrio on November 10th. And in 2 days, November 20th, we will see part 2 of that. The featured characters in part 1 are Hello Kitty, Pom Pom Purin, Pochako, Bad Bats Maru, and Gudetama, while those for part 2 will be Cinnamoroll, My Melody, Kuromi, Tuxedo Sam, and Kero Kero Keropi. I did not know that was Keropi's full name. For each part, the game holds a collaboration event and campaigns featuring stories where 10 members from Girls Band Party pair up with Sanrio characters. To commemorate the collaboration, a new extra song called Joyful was performed by one of the groups, Poppin' Party, and Hello Kitty was added in the game on November 10th. Ikimonogatari leader Yoshiki Mizuno provided the lyrics and the music for the song, while Yuki Hidaka from Elements Garden handled the arrangements. And you can find the song on the official YouTube channel. You can find it at, let me pause this real quick. Wow. It's youtube.com/ Bang Dream Official or Bang underscore Dream underscore Official. You can find it right there. And the artwork from it is pretty nice and it's pretty cool. And I just hope, and I'm looking at this artwork, I'm like, y'all can't make this large enough for wallpaper? Just saying, you know. Let me see if I can show that over to y'all. And while I do this, I'm gonna ask Mako, because I know I've asked her this more than once, and she's probably said this on the show more than once. So, Mako, who is your favorite Sanrio character?
Bats.
See? Because the funny thing is, I was going to say Kuromi.
Evil penguins. It's all about the evil penguins.
That evil penguin could be Pen Pen's older brother.
Fucking penguins. Sorry, but the term penguins has different meaning for me.
Ah. The Pittsburgh variety?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Fucking yinzers.
Oh, God. Is it that bad? See, I like that wallpaper. See, that's cute. I would have, I mean, that image, I would have that as wallpaper on my computer. I really would. Or that one right there, you know? And as Bob Coffee says, of course, as Papia. It should have been Hello Happy World for the Sanrio collab, to be honest. Well, to be fair, Hello Happy World is a lot more sugary popish, but I think it's Pop and Party because they're like the lead band in the game and the series. So in a way, it does make sense. But I get what you're saying. I totally do. But let's be real. Kuromi probably listens to Rosalia, so that's why I feel. And there you go, Mako. There's your wallpaper or your image. Or that one. Yeah, that's definitely you, because look at that facial expression. Bats Maru was like, I'm done with this now. Can I go home?
Yeah, I still gotta get my Bats Maru tattoo.
You also need a pen.
I could just do a full collection of mascot penguins. There are plenty of them.
Well, I'll tell you what. Next time I go to Japan, I will get you a Suica card that has a penguin on it.
Maybe.
Because you're sure as hell not getting the one that I have.
No, I say maybe. I see you. Yeah, you did put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be talking about that in Meanwhile in Japan.
Mm-hmm. And if you're not sure, stick around. We're going to get into that. So let's get on to our next story. Mako-chan, what's going on with one of your favorite developers, Kojima-san?
Yeah, so they announced that Death Stranding is getting another, I guess, tie-in anime. So this is really funny. This is going to be the second anime adaptation, but this one is going to be a series streaming through Disney Plus.
Disney Plus?
Yeah. This was announced. So the tentative title is Death Stranding Isolations. The series was announced at Hong Kong Disneyland Resort. At the Disney Plus Asia Pacific preview.
Yeah, they just announced it.
So they have released a couple of teaser pictures. This is going to be the third adaptation. The funny thing is that none of the adaptations so far have even come out. They are just banking on the popularity of the video games, making this stuff popular too.
Mm.
It does
So,
sound like a kind of a risk, doesn't it?
when you look at the fact that the other stuff hasn't even come out yet, but the two video games have done really, really well. So an anime film is currently in production at ABC Animation Studio, uh, as well as a live action Hollywood film at A24. So now we have an animated series, an animated movie, and a live action movie. All in production. Nothing has come out yet. So the new anime series is going to be directed by Takayuki Sano, who was the animation director on Attack on Titan's final season and Jujutsu Kaisen. Design Ilya Kuvshinov, who worked on Ghost in the Shell, is drawing the original character design for the series, which is set to release on Disney Plus in 2027. The series has been described, once there was an explosion, lonesome souls of the dead manifest in the physical world, reaching in search of the living. However, the connection they create triggers a massive explosion that eradicates anything of this world, a phenomenon referred to as the Death Stranding. These events wipe out nations as well as civilization itself. People who remain are now isolated, withdrawn, and without connections. As humanity stands at the brink of a legendary porter set out to transport both cargo and wishes of its senders, reconnecting people in the hopes that they might still be saved. Somewhere in North America, just as Sam Bridges walks through the continent in order to save America, the someones are also trying to deal with their isolation in their own way. An old man trying to realize salvation through ways outside of the connection advocated by Bridges, a female warrior who tries to kickstart a world of constant fighting, a boy with a grudge against Bridges, a girl who embraces loneliness. On the precipice of the end of humanity and the world, their fates and hopes converge as another story of Death Stranding begins, and now comes another explosion.
Have you played this game?
I do not have the console in order to play this game, so no.
I thought it was on I thought it was on PC.
Again, I do not have the console in order to play this game. There are very few PC games that I own.
Yeah, because I mean, I've not played it. It doesn't seem like my cup of tea. So it's like you're traversing the country while protecting a baby in some type of protected egg or something like that. Because I could not understand the point of the game, and it's like, and from what you described how the anime is, so you're like, so basically you're just like the Pony Express delivering packages. You're like Make-A-Wish Foundation, granting one last wish, and make sure you don't get killed in the process.
Just from the explanation for the anime, it seems very much yeah, it's like Trigun, but you're a delivery service. I don't know.
Can you imagine Vash the Stampede just doing that?
He probably would.
He probably would. You're talking about people's hopes and dreams and trying to reconnect. That is very Vash.
Yeah, and he trips and shoots somebody in the process.
Well, no, he wouldn't be the one to necessarily shoot somebody. He's going to shoot something that is going to then collide into something else and then fall into somebody.
Accidental damage.
Mm-hmm.
Task failed successfully.
Yes.
I like that. I absolutely like that. All right. Ari, what's going on in the world of Super Sentai? And from what I'm reading here, it's like this is not the first time this has happened.
Let's see. The official website for a live-action television series, number one Sentai Gyozyuger, announced on Saturday that Kohaku Shida is replacing main cast member Maya Imamori in the role of Sumino Ichikawa, aka Gozio Unicorn. The Shida will start appearing in the series in episode 40, which will air on November 30th. Shida previously starred as the heroine Haruka Kito, Oni's sister, in Avatar in the entry Avataro Sentai Dawn Brothers. She also performed in the television adaptation of Takashi Natsuhara and Takashi Hamori's Legendary Boss show manga in 2024. Let's see. The website announced 1 week earlier that Imamori was dismissed from her talent agency and the television series as well. Episode 37 aired on Sunday with Imamori's appearances completely edited out. Sumino Ichikawa had a single line of dialogue commenting about the episode's villain, but the line was read by voice actor Ayaka Mikawa instead of Imamori. Furthermore, number one Sentai Gyozyuger's opening sequence has been edited to remove any footage of Imamori, replaced mainly with footage of the main characters in the suits with the helmets on. Imamori will turn 20 in March, was released, and her agent from Gyozyuger and her agency after she was reportedly discovered drinking alcohol while underage, because the legal drinking age in Japan is 20. At the announcement, Imamori posted on Instagram on Saturday that her actions are unacceptable and deeply regrets them. She also apologized to her fans, co-stars, and those involved with her work, and said she will reflect on her life as not to betray those around her. Okay, so betrayal is a little bit strong, but I feel like this might be, even with the, how Japan treats, their actors for stuff like this is a little bit overboard.
It is. I mean, like, if this was in the U.S., it would not be that big of a deal unless you were coming to the set drunk off your ass, okay?
Yeah.
And even then, depending on how popular you are, that might not even count either.
See, this kind of reminds me of, like, when I watched Salaryman on Amazon Prime. It's about, like, honor, legacy, respect, and doing the right things. They feel that what she did underage, it's not okay. And it's like her being on this show is sort of like, you could do this underage and still get what you want, And here I thought it was supposed to be like a plot line or something, because I know they did that in Shinkenger, so I thought it was something along those lines. I mean, that is kind of strict, kind of steep, but I get it and I completely understand it, It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Super Sentai has been going through a lot anyway. Considering that the series is being canceled.
The series, it's not being canceled.
It isn't?
No, Super Sentai is not being canceled. They're renaming Super Sentai to something along the lines called Universe Heroes. That's what it is. Super Sentai is not being canceled. It's just rebranding. Because I shared that article on my Facebook, and then I scrolled down to continue reading, and I saw another article that explains everything, so I deleted that. Yeah, Super Sentai is rebranding as Universe Heroes. It's another play on Super Sentai and a couple of other things.
Okay, that I did not know.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. If you Google search Super Sentai rebranding Universe Heroes, you should find a couple of stories that kind of connect to that. And probably as this season ends, we'll probably hear more about that. So we should hear more news about the rebranding probably in January or February, around the time that a new season begins. Which reminds me, I actually need to catch up, because I was watching Super Sentai, and I think the first series I started watching was Deca Ranger, and I kept watching all the way up till I hit Go Busters. I just fell off the rails or something like that. But I think I do.
Deca Ranger was good.
Yeah, it was. I did not like Power Rangers SPD. That was ugh. So
Well, that had a lot to do with
I-
the frigging Disney.
I know, but
Well,
I'm just
so-
saying they could have kept it a little bit closer to the source material and still could have been great. I mean, you changed the design of Doggy Kruger. Are you kidding me? But anywho,
Actually, I kind of like the animatronic better than just a puppet.
now I kind of like.
I know that it's
Yeah.
not going to be
I
easily talked about.
Yeah, I know. I guess I'm a bit of a purist in a way, but I do understand what the edits that have to be done. That I understand, but some of it could have been a little bit better, you know. But I will
Also,
say,
in Goes Huge, or one of the guys who gets one of the Red Ranger rings, if you want to call it that, is a big boy.
well, yeah, that's also cool. If you go back,
I mean, granted, the suit is very slimming, but
well, to be fair, if you watch Jetman, one of the Rangers was a husky dude.
yeah, there are a couple
Yeah.
husky dudes throughout it, but they're few and far between, and usually like guy used to be a Subatori or something like that.
Well, I will say, going to Japan twice, it's starting to be a
Gao
change.
Black was one of them.
Yeah,
Gao Black,
Yeah.
Iron Bison was one of those.
I do know. I want to sit down and catch up on it because I know I want to finish watching Lupin Ranger versus Patrol Ranger and Kira Major and a few others. I do want to watch. I'm not going to catch up on all of them, but just like 5 or 6 series, I do want to sit down and watch. And I think I will do that after I look at my current backlog. If I can kind of knock that down some, which is why I'm thankful current anime series are only 12 episodes right now, and some of the new stuff that's airing, I can wait on that. So there is that. So now that we got that discussion out of the way, we are going to talk about Idols and Love Live. And
Sorry, guys, I gotta drop out for now.
gotta take off. Okay, dude, that's no problem.
Yeah, I hate getting up at 4 a.m.
Well, you gotta pay the bills one way or another.
Ain't that the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Gonna have a plumber come by and look at the kitchen sink that's all backed up, so that's gonna cost me.
Mm.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
All right, man. See you next week, dude.
Bye.
Later. And then there were only 2. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about Love Live. It seems that the latest CD has been delayed due to some issue with the jacket art. And you're probably either wondering what's up with the artwork, and somebody else is probably thinking, I probably know what it is, and please don't let it be that. So anyhow, the CD was delayed amid claims that the jacket art used generative AI. Love Live's School Idol franchise's 5th main group, Hasu no Sora Jugenkuken School Idol Club, announced on Tuesday that the group's 8th single, Hajimari no Hanedoto, and I can't believe they already have 8 singles out. I think I finally lost my way or something like that. It's been delayed from November 26th to December 24th. According to the staff, the delay is due to errors in the single's jacket art, and the announcement included images of the jacket art before and after the corrections were made. So if you look at the image, you can't spot the difference, but there's an animated GIF that you can click on that can explain, where the differences are. And this animated GIF will show you there are some differences in the hairstyle, the shadowing of the uniforms, and the shoes that they're wearing. The delay comes amid claims that the jacket art was made using generative AI. The claim comes in response to the original October 31st announcement for the single's release date. In a cursory look over the 170 responses, several commenters highlighted portions of the artwork they claimed demonstrated the use of generative AI. As of press time, the Love Live franchise has not released a statement confirming or denying the use of generative AI in the jacket art of Hajimari no Hananoto. Wow. And as Bob Coffey says in our chat room here at Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session, he says this is the second time Hasu CD art has been called out for possible AI. Well now. That's all I gotta say. Anywho, Mako, what's up with Attack on Titan? Looks like one of the concerts is coming here.
Yeah. So the Beyond the Walls tour kicks off a fresh run in February. Um, Obviously, the Attack on Titan saga is popular around the world, and fans can experience it all again thanks to the official concert series. Following performances at many of the most famous global venues, Attack on Titan Beyond the Walls tour, the official concert, makes its return to the United States in 2026. The concerts mix rock, orchestra, and vocal music with footage from the series for the full Attack on Titan experience. The next round is set to kick off at the Brower Center in Fort Lauderdale, Florida on February 28th and concludes at the Abravanel Hall in Salt Lake City, Utah, March 29th. Tickets are on sale. It looks like there is 2 in Florida, 2 in North Carolina, DC, 2 in Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin. I'm just looking to see. There's nothing on either one of the coasts except for DC.
You mean to tell me they couldn't get Carnegie Hall?
Yeah, so they're Sacramento, California, and Oregon. But yeah, so there's no New York, no Jersey, no Upper East Coast, which is kind of sad.
For shame, for shame.
Yeah. But again, that's probably because the last time they were here, that's the areas they were in.
I
So
suppose.
Yeah, so now they're going to, I guess, still popular destinations and theaters, but not the, New York City and LA
Yeah.
and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, because if you think about, like, not to say that, but it's like Weird Al just announced a new tour. He's doing a new, bigger and weirder 2026 tour. He's hitting places he didn't hit in the first one, which does make sense. Because I'm thinking he's going to do the Garden again. No, he's doing Jersey. So I'm like, okay, I see you. Honestly,
Yeah, I think the first time we saw him was in PNC.
yes, it was.
So it doesn't surprise me that he's going to be there again.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing him in Atlantic City.
Yeah, Atlantic City is the only indoor theater.
Yeah.
The one at PNC and the one at Music Fest are both, well, technically the one at Music Fest is also a PNC theater. It's outdoor. So,
But at least with PNC Bank Arts Center, you have like that. If depending on where you seat, you do have that massive shade. It does help some, but
some, but not a lot.
yeah.
But yeah, I would not mind going to see him in Atlantic City again.
Yeah.
That was a good concert.
Yes, it was. But let's be real. It is never a Weird Al concert. It's a Weird Al sing along.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because almost every song that he's going to sing, you're going to know it. And if you don't know it, the stranger sitting next to you knows it, is going to start singing it, and you're going to start singing along with them. All right. We have our last story of the night before we get into Meanwhile in Japan, and it's about Pokemon Park. It seems you gotta be a little bit fit to go into some parts of the park. Oh, okay then. Now, it seems that Pokemon fans have been buzzing with excitement following the surprise announcement earlier in the week that Poke Park Kanto, the brand new Pokemon arena coming to the Tokyo theme park, Yomiuri Land has moved up its grand opening slated from spring of 2026 to February 5th. Now, before you toss an entry into the lottery for the first batch of tickets, you might want to check your wallet and also the physical fitness levels and the ages of anyone that you're traveling with. Starting with the fitness aspect, Pokepark Kanto is comprised of two sections. There's Sedgetown with rides, stage shows, and souvenir shops. And there's the Pokemon Forest. The idea is to give guests a taste of both aspects of the Pokemon trainer journey, procuring supplies and experiencing events in town while encountering wild Pokemon while wandering through undeveloped parts of the world. Okay. In the pursuit of that immersion, the Pokemon Forest is approximately 500-meter long nature trail, which translates to about 1,640 foot. And on this nature trail, there are grassy sections and tunnels to pass through, and some pronounced elevation changes. Because of that, Pokepark Kanto's admission policy says that anyone entering the Pokemon Forest must be able to climb a stairway of 110 steps, and those who are unable to do so will be denied admission to the woods. Children under 5 years old are also barred from the forest for safety reasons. Makes sense. The park's policy states that the age and physical fitness requirement will not be waived even if a parent or a caregiver is an accompaniment. And this might be the reason why there are going to be 3 different types of Pokepark Kanto tickets, one of which has a reduced price but only lets you into Sedgetown. As regarding to the tickets, the tickets are basically a functionality, a supplemental fee that are tacked onto a Yomiuri Land ticket. As with every type of Pokepark Kanto ticket, also admits you to the rest of Yomiuri Land too. Because of that, it was given that Pokepark Kanto tickets were going to be much more expensive than the Yomiuri Land tickets. What was less expected is just how much more they're going to cost. Here's how much in one day all you can ride ticket to Yomiuri Land is, not including Pokepark Kanto. For an adult, 5,900 yen, which is about $39. Children from 12 to 17, 4,700 yen. Children 6 to 11 and seniors over 65, 4,100 yen. Young kids from 3 to 5, 2,500 yen. Initially, there are going to be 2 classes of Pokepark Kanto tickets, both which grant access to both Pokemon Forest and Sedgetown sections. Prices for the less expensive ticket class, the Trainer Pass, are listed on the site as this. For adults over which is 13 and up, 79 starts at 7,900 yen, which is about $59. Children 3 to 12 starting at 4,700 yen. Seniors 65 and up starts at 7,100 yen, which I want to say that's got to be a typo. I want to say I think it's actually 1,000 yen if you ask me. While that works out to only a minor additional cost between the ages of 6 to 11, and none at all for 12-year-olds, it's a pretty steep increase for everyone else, especially teenagers between 13 and 17, whose Pokepark Kanto tickets will cost them 3,200 yen more than the normal Yomiuri Land ticket, a 68% increase if they want to go into the Pokemon Zone. As always, Pokemon prints money! The price increases get even more startling for the Ace Trainer Pass, also called the Elite Trainer Pass in Japanese, which grants priority line access for all the attractions in Sedgetown, free rides on its rides. Regular Trainer Passes you have to pay extra to ride, and a photo opportunity with Pikachu and Eevee and special souvenirs. If that's what you want to do, 13 and up, 14,000 yen. About $120, give or take. Children from 3 to 12, 11,000 yen. Seniors 65 and up, 13,500 yen. So maybe the other ticket where it said 7,100, maybe it was 7,100 yen. Whew. Those are more than double the prices of regular Yomiuri Land tickets. And in the case of seniors, more than 3 times as much. Sure, the souvenirs come with the Ace Trainer Pass are probably sweet, but are they let's pay over 10,000 yen a person level sweet? But, I mean, those of us who have gone to Japan and went to Tokyo Disney Sea and Tokyo Disneyland and Universal Studios, you feel me on that.
Mm-hmm.
And the sad part is, going there is cheaper than going to the U.S. counterparts if you do the conversion. That's crazy. But anyhow, those are more than double the prices of regular Yomiuri Land tickets. Oh, I already said that right. Things thankfully settled back down with the Town Pass, which is expected to go on sale sometime this summer. The Town Pass only lets holders into such town and lacks the special privileges of the Ace Trainer Pass, but it's a lot cheaper. In fact, some ages for the price listed on the Pokepark Kanto for Town Passes is actually lower than the current price for Yomiuri Land tickets, though this might be a misprint or a sign that Yomiuri Land tickets are going to be discounted before the Town Pass becomes available. 13 and up, 4,700 yen. Children 3 to 12, 2,800 yen. Seniors, 65 and up, 4,200 yen. It's also telling that Pokepark Kanto website is showing its ticket prices as starting at the specific price points, which seems to imply that we won't be seeing ticket prices below those marks. Higher ticket prices, say for weekends, holidays, and peak travel seasons, are something Pokemon fans might need to brace for. All that said, it's likely Pokepark Kanto will have no trouble selling out tickets from its first purchase rights lottery, which will be accepting applications between November 21st and December 8th. The real test will come once the initial hype dies down and prospective visitors start asking whether Pokepark Kanto is really worth the price of admission. Okay. Let me say this. You know how here in the States, we have tourist attractions that we like to call tourist traps because it takes your money. Most of us will not go there. A tourist will go there maybe once just to say that they did. To me, it's a tourist trap if you keep going there every single year or something like that. And you're bringing your friends. Now, Pokepark Kanto sounds like a tourist trap to me. But if you are a fan of Pokemon, I see nothing wrong with paying that money and going just once, just to see, just because. It's sort of like the Ferris wheel at Don Quixote in Osaka. Some call it a tourist trap, but it's to go just once. Some say Don Quixote is a tourist trap in general, but there are so many of them, you can always find good stuff, so there is that. I mean, personally, the Akihabara location is a tourist trap because you'll find more anime goods there than any other donkey that's in Japan. I think I dropped like a little bit, I think about 12,000 yen on Ranma 1/2 goods out of that store. And Podculture says, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I'm going to assume that's also a tourist trap. Kind of sounds like Colonial Williamsburg, if you ask me. Anywho, now that we got that out the way, we're going to get into the part of the show that y'all really like to stick around for. Meanwhile, in Japan. And I'm looking at the stories here. I'll take the second one.
Okay, so I'm looking at the mock-up map.
Okay.
For the park.
All right.
And from what I'm seeing, it looks like I'm trying to... Yeah, so it looks like the area, the forest area. You can actually, from what I'm seeing here, go around the forest.
All right.
It's an actual forest with real trees and everything like that. So to actually go into the woods, I think that's where they're saying is going to be the issue. But from what I'm seeing, you can get into that area and walk around the area. There are trails that don't look very steep. I don't see stairs. So as long as you're sticking to those trails, I don't see the issue that people would have, except for it being very big.
Yeah, because it reminds me, like, when I went to Takayama back in 2023, I went to a folk village, Hideno Sato. I was not able to explore the full town. Parts of it was blocked off because of winter. They didn't want anybody over there because of snow and rain and stuff like that. Now, looking at where it was blocked off, I'm like, that's not a problem for me. I could walk up there and go through that. But I get it and I understand that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, no. Those are stairs. Okay, never mind. But still, you can make it into part of the park.
Mm-hmm.
It's forest. To be able to at least get around to see things. I don't know. I don't know.
All right. And,
Anyway, so you're taking the second one?
Yep. And I want to comment on something that Bob Coffey said in our chat here. The real ones avoid Donkey and go to Lashinbang, Madarake, and K-Books for anime goods in Japan. Okay. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to send you a picture later, but the Ranma one have goods that I found at Donkey, or not at Lashinbang, Madarake, or K-Books. Granted, I could go to any of those spots, and the prices are going to be virtually the same across the board. But it's like it's a matter of convenience for me. Trust me, I know Lashinbang. I went to Lashinbang several times. The first time I went into one was in 2023, and I walked out with a lot of figures. Second time, I went back to Nakano Broadway and walked in. I walked out with 3 bags of figures. And I said, mistakes were made. Money was spent. Believe you me, I know. And Madarake is just kind of sort of overpriced because you got to understand, the bulk of their merchandise is secondhand goods. And I kind of missed K-Books in a way because I was looking for a specific one that specializes in like 80s and 90s anime and merch. It was converted into a K-pop store and I couldn't find it. So, and I didn't have that much time in Ikebukuro to explore around. Hopefully next year I'll have that time to do so. So, yes, mistakes indeed. So, he goes, you need to go to Osaka for that stuff. No, I was in Osaka. I did not see a lot of that. But, Bob, let's connect on Discord later, and I'll send you my photos. We can talk and discuss and all that stuff, you know? I went to Ikebukuro K-Books, not Akiba. Ikebukuro. All right. So you said you're going to take the first story, and I'll take the second one, which the first story does kind of coincide to Mako-chan's plush that she showed off at the beginning of the show. So,
Yes, penguin mascots.
Pengi.
Yeah, so 25 years after the Suka penguin revolutionized how Japan buys train tickets, their future does no longer includes the character. So back in 2001, the East Japan Railway Company, or JR East, revolutionized train travel in Japan when they launched the Suica system. Instead of having to hunt for your destination on a map posted on the wall in order to determine the fare, feed coins into a ticket machine, and fiddle around with a paper ticket, you simply tapped your prepaid card on a terminal mounted at the side of the ticket gate at the first and last station of your journey, and the automated cashless payment system deducted the necessary funds. It's an extremely useful system, and in the years since, Suica has grown to become one of Japan's most frequently used cashless payment systems, accepted not only for train tickets, but for purchases in retail shops and at vending machines, restaurants, and a long list of other facilities.
Can you pause it for 1 second?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So for those of you who are participating, I am showing off a Suica card, and this basically it's like your basic run of the mill tap card. Let me see if I can turn it. There we go. This is a Suica card. It's basically a tap card, and what it is, this is a card you get that gets you around. Now, there are regional tap cards. When I first went to Japan, I believe I had a Manaka card, and I believe this is for like Nagoya and so forth, and I could be wrong. Now, also, there is the Ioka card, which also, their mascot is also a penguin too. So, and it's no different from, if you were in New York City, an Omni tap card. It's basically the same thing. It's just shaped slightly different. If you look right here in the corner, it's cut a little bit off. And on the back is all the Japanese information and a code. And if you are a arcade gamer and you have an EMU's card or something like that, flip it around in the back. Same thing. That's all I wanted to say. Please carry on, Mako-chan.
Yes. It's an extremely useful system, and in the years since, no, I started saying that. Still, when Suica was first being introduced, JR East knew some people would be reluctant to use it, especially with how prevalent the use of cash was, and in many ways still is. So to help make the new technology less intimidating, JR East also introduced a mascot for the system, the Suica Penguin. Japan wasn't quite as filled with mascot characters in those days as it is now, but the Suica Penguin, who has no name other than that, was an instant hit. He appeared not only on the cards themselves, but also in advertisements and explanatory signage. And the underlying message that the Suica system was so easy to use that even a penguin can manage it got quietly communicated while people were oohing and eyeing over how adorable the critter was. In the 2.5 decades since the character's debut, the penguin has appeared on countless pieces of merchandise, been the motif for all sorts of snacks and sweets, and even now has its own chain of specialty shops called Pensta inside select JR East stations. So it came as a shock when JR East announced that they would be retiring the Suica Penguin and replacing him with a new character. The president said, "We appreciate the kind, warm treatment everyone has given the Suica Penguin, but on the occasion of the 25th anniversary, the character will be graduating and passing the baton to a new mascot." Despite the sugar-coated jargon, fans of the penguin were heartbroken to hear the news, posting reactions online such as, "The Suica Penguin is going to disappear. This is so sad. Is the Suica Penguin statue near the JR East headquarters in Shinjuku going to get torn down like the statues of Lenin during the fall of the Soviet Union?"
Oh, wow.
This is a total shock. Everything about the Suica Penguin is awesome. Shocked. The first Christmas cake my husband and I ever shared was a Suica Penguin cake. Thank you for all the memories. I hope they keep Pensta open even after they stop using the character as a mascot. This is more than I can bear. I have an original painting of the Suica Penguin from the creator, and it's our family's treasure. So there is also a fan who was no mood to mince words. JR East is just using the word graduate because it suits their purpose and makes them look nice. What they're doing is just laying off the penguin, isn't it? Suica is great because of the Suica Penguin. I mean, why do they think they need to change the character anyway? I hope they end up doing like Don Quixote did and cancel their plans to change the mascot. I think the Suika penguin is a source of emotional comfort for a lot of people. The character is such a huge presence. The creating artist took a more positive, even keeled approach in her statement, stating, I remember feeling so happy and honored when my work was chosen as the mascot character in 2001. The character appeared on posters and in commercials, becoming loved by so many people that JR even created the Pensta shops. I'm very happy to have been able to spend the last 25 years together with the Suika Penguin. I'll be doing my very best for this final year. To everyone who has supported the character for so long, thank you very much. As for why they are pushing the penguin out of the spotlight, next year in fall changes to the mobile Suika app, which will allow, via a user code, purchases up to 300,000 yen, which is $2,000, far beyond the current limit of 20,000 yen. And JR East is also looking into the possibility of allowing users to transfer funds directly from their bank accounts into their Suika accounts. This has the potential to greatly expand the scope and scale of Suika purchases that can be made, and JR East wants a new mascot to mark what it hopes will be the start of a new era for the system. None of that is doing anything to soothe the sadness of the Suika Penguin's many fans, however, as alluded to by the particularly irate commenter a few years ago, discount retailer Don Quixote insinuated that it would be getting rid of its mascot character Don Pen, but following swift gale force blowback from fans, the character is still prominently featured in Don Quixote's advertisements and on its signage, even if he's not on their store brand item packaging.
I mean, they gave Don Pen a girlfriend. You just can't get rid of that penguin.
Yeah.
By the way, would you like a pair of Don Pen themed Crocs?
No.
How about just a Don Pen shirt?
A Don Pen shirt?
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Yeah. If you look at the article, that is the Don Pen penguin. So that will be on your shirt.
I would much rather a plushie, but it's just me.
Honestly, I want to say I saw Don Pen plushies, but I don't remember off the top of my head. If there is one, Bob, can you bring back a Don Pen plushie for Mako-chan when you go in 2 months? I'll send you a list of other stuff for me. See, Bob Coffey is the man. He's going to go to Japan and get you a Don Pen plushie.
That would be freaking awesome.
And also, can you get her another bag of corn tea?
No, I do not need another bag of corn tea. I'm never going to finish this bag of corn tea. Take your corn tea and shove it up your ass.
Language.
Not corn teeth, corn tea.
Yes.
T-E-A.
Yes. And for those of you who missed it, head over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/anime jam session. Last week's episode highlight was Mako-chan describing the corn tea that I got her as a gift from Japan. And please understand, I did not get this as like a gag gift or something. I thought, this was something new, and I know Mako-chan likes tea. I figured she'd give it a try. Her thoughts on it was not what I was expecting, but still enjoyable nonetheless.
Yeah, I will definitely look into cooking with it. It does have a very corn flavor to it because it's basically herbal tea made with corn. Corn tea sounds like a euphemism for moonshine. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, if
considering Considering one of the reasons, like one of the things that they tell you to use it with is soju, then yeah, it's moonshine, all right.
Yeah, go back and check out our episode highlight. Is more about it there.
You're up.
Okay. Is it wrong that I'm picturing you driving around the back streets with a jug of corn tea in the back? And the theme from Smokey and the Bandit is playing?
What? I'm not going to be selling corn tea to randos out of the back of my car.
Like says, or the theme from Dukes of Hazzard. Okay, all right. It's out of my system now. It's out of my system. Okay, so now we're going to talk about what the Japanese government is trying to do dealing with over-tourism. And one of the things they're considering is tripling departure taxes. Oof, that ain't it. When planning a trip to Japan, there's a lot of expenses to take into consideration. First, of course, is the airfare, the cost of getting there, and then there's money you'll need to spend while in Japan for hotels, local transportation, food, and entertainment. But it sometimes gets lost in the fine print. You also need to pay in order to get out of Japan. The International Tourist Tax, as is officially termed, is a departure tax that international travelers need to pay before leaving the country. Back in the old days, you had to purchase a tax stamp or certificate from a vending machine at the airport. But the departure tax is now usually bundled as part of your total ticket cost when booking a flight that's departing from a Japanese airport. Whether travelers are conscious of it or not, they still pay the departure tax, and it might be going up by a very big margin soon. The Japanese government is currently in the middle of discussion for tax revisions for 2026, and among the topics is potentially increasing the departure tax. During a debate in September, 1 month prior to the new Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi taking office, she said that she would be in favor of raising the departure tax to 3,000 yen. Now, before you freak out, please understand the yen to dollar ratio, and we've kind of explained that when we were talking about Poke Park. 3,000 yen, $20, tripling the current cost of 1,000 yen, which is probably $6 or something like that. 1,000 yen's about $6 or $7, give or take. In the 2024 fiscal year, the Japanese government collected 52.4 billion yen in departure taxes, and with the country experiencing its largest inbound international tourist boom, excuse me, tripling the departure tax will have a huge effect on tax revenue. So what would the government do with all the extra cash? Proponents of raising the departure tax say the additional revenue could be put to use to combating the ill effects of over-tourism. Over-tourism is currently a hot-button issue in Japanese society, and the government taking more active steps to address it would likely be seen as a good thing by most Japanese residents. However, it's not only foreign tourists who pay the departure taxes when flying out of Japan. Japanese citizens must also pay the tax when departing from Japanese airports for international travel, so raising the departure tax would affect them as well. To offset this, some policymakers have proposed reducing passport fees for Japanese nationals. Currently, obtaining a 10-year passport in Japan involves fees of 15,900 yen, which is probably about $140, give or take. From what we discussed, it could be closer to like $130. I'm putting it in the system now. Actually, no. With the current dollar to yen to dollar ratio, a 10-year passport that's 15,900 yen will run you about $103. That's third cheaper than getting a 10-year passport here with the card in the States. Officials have estimated that 10,000 yen could be knocked off that and offset by the increased departure tax revenues. If the departure tax does indeed jump from 1,000 yen to 3,000, Even a 10,000 yen discount on 10-year passport fees will only be benefiting Japanese people who travel overseas no more than once every 2 years. Getting back to the topic of using increased departure tax fees, with the majority of increased revenue ostensibly coming from foreign tourists in Japan to combat over-tourism, there are a number of points to consider. First, while no one would like having to pay an extra 2,000 yen per person in their party, that increase is unlikely to dissuade many tourists from coming to Japan. It's a drop in the bucket compared to the total cost of a Japanese vacation, especially in light of the currently very favorable exchange rate for foreign tourists. So if raising the departure tax isn't going to reduce the number of foreign tourists, how is it going to help alleviate over-tourism concerns? Ideas have been floated, such as using the extra tax revenue for things such as building more parking lots in an effort to decrease congestion on public transportation and roads. Other proposals have been to use the money to introduce a reservation system at popular tourism sites for better crowd management, or installing more public trash cans to decrease litter, or increase public awareness campaigns aimed at foreign tourists, reminding them to mind their manners while in Japan. While watching as their cityscapes transition from more parking spaces and posters asking people to have common courtesy, or having to book in advance to visit local culture sites, are sort of over-tourism solutions Japanese residents want or not remains to be seen. Now let me just say this. If you are going to Japan, before you go, open YouTube. YouTube search things to do and not to do in Japan. Watch a few of those videos to give you a general idea. This is something I started carrying around in my pocket. In Japan, when you're using the restrooms, a lot of them do not have air dryers or paper towels. You'll be needing a handkerchief such as this to dry your hands and to stick in your pocket. And I've come to the realization this is a benefit even here, because I can just go to the bathroom, wash my hands, pull this out and wipe my hands and go catch my train or something like that. This saves me at least 5 minutes, especially when I'm rushing. If you have garbage, keep it in your with you. Then when you go back to your hotel, your Airbnb, throw it in the trash. Or if you can, if there is a konbini nearby, drop it in there. It's always been a thing of a reservation system for certain places. Like when I went to Universal Studios Japan, we were on a timed reservation system to get into Super Nintendo World. We got there a little bit before 3 and they still let us through. I wouldn't mind that because I could spend the rest of my time exploring the rest of the park. But that's what it's coming down to. The most important thing is mind your manners and respect everybody else. That's it. That's all you need to do. And if you're kind of confused on stuff, again, go on YouTube. There are tons of videos from people who visit Japan, who live in Japan, will tell you about things you need to kind of keep a generalization about. And that's all I have to say about that. Nothing bad, And now that we got that out the way, I think it's time to wrap up the show while we have a little bit of time. Well, so much for a little bit of time. We went over. Whoops. Mm-hmm. Anywho, if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent podcasters, independent bloggers, so what we like and don't like, we're telling you straight up. So if you have any questions about the show, please drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. And when you can, check out our website at animejamsession.com. On our site, you will find our latest podcast. You will find anime reviews, cosplay tips and tricks, cosplay interviews, convention reports, editorials. You'll find links to our YouTube and Facebook pages of convention and cosplay coverage. All that and then some at animejamsession.com. And if you can, please subscribe to our podcast if you love this. Our podcast is available anywhere where podcasts can be downloaded. And if not, shoot us an email. We'll try to get you. We'll do our best to get on that podcasting service. And what's cool is Some of these podcasting apps and services allow you to leave reviews on the site and stuff. If you can't email us, leave us a review. We greatly appreciate that. A little bit goes a long way. Social media. You will find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Blue Sky under Anime Jam Session. And to all of our fans that follow us on our socials, thank you so much. We really appreciate y'all. We truly do. Let's see. What else do we have here? Our tip jar. If you're still here or if you've been participating with us, down below is direct links to our Stream Elements, our Streamlabs, and our Ko-Fi. And if you want to cheer us on with bits, go for it. We appreciate that. Sub to the channel and giving out gift subs. We appreciate that too. All the money that comes into the channel keeps the site and all the hardware, everything, keeps the wheels greased and going. So now we're going to go around the room. Last words, Mako-chan.
I am very tired.
When aren't you tired?
When I'm sleeping.
Fair enough. My last words. I kind of want to take that air conditioner out now, but I won't. But anywho.
Now?
I know.
At 10 o'clock at night?
This is me you're talking to.
Yeah, that's true.
See, there you go. But that is it. End of list. We're going to get out of here. We'll be back with a brand new episode next week, and we hope that you do join us. So, we're out of here. So, I am Ranma.
And I am Mako-chan.
Great fight. Great night. See you next week.
Good night.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
Perfect. Awesome. We're out of here. See you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!